Get ready for the biggest review for the tiniest set you've ever seen. That's right, we've got an LOZ or Laws block, micro block set here. Now this thing, let me show you first. I'm just going to show you the size of this thing first before we go into too much detail. Check this out. Let me put my hand down here. Look, my whole hand doesn't even fit into frame. Look at this, what is this thing, like a finger and a half tall? That doesn't say much. How big is my hand? You don't know. Let me show you. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take some Lego polybag sets, all right? So let's go with a Lego Speed Champion set here and check out. Ready? Now, if you have some of these polybag sets, you know they are small. Check this thing out. It's tiny. It is tiny. Let's grab another one. How about a police jet ski? Look at that. This thing is tiny. Holy moly. How about one more? Go-kart? Look at that thing. The driver sits taller than the whole truck. Speaking of the driver, let's put a Lego minifigure next to it. Ready? Holy cow. Look at this. She can stand next to it and look right over the top. What is this? This thing, it says micro block on the bag and it means it. Micro block. Look at that. Meep, meep. No, I don't think so. Boom! So yeah, this thing is small. Let me see here. What can I compare this thing to how big it is? Other than the minifigure, you saw that. Let's go with, how about a USB? Put that up against it. It's about as long as a normal USB. Check that out. But something else you might have sitting around the house. Look at this. We all have one of these, don't we? A little charging block. Well, this thing, without the stuff on the side, it's just about as wide, or it's a little wider than the charging block, and about the same length. So look over at your charging block. That's how big this thing is. Don't have a cell phone? You're watching this on your neighbor's phone at the airport? How about one of these, huh? Cancer powder? Yeah, yummy, yummy cancer powder. Stick it on there. Micro, not even mini. Micro. This thing is small. Small. How small? You want more examples? Sure. Because you're thinking, how in the world do you put this thing together? Guess how many pieces? Guess how many pieces this is? 180 pieces make up this tiny micro rescue vehicle. And look, it's got a lot going on with it, huh? We've got the hose, we've got the nozzle here, a ladder on top. We've got lights and stickers. Now imagine the blocks are tiny. What about the stickers? We'll get to that in a minute. All right, let's look at the blocks. I've got your normal Lego block here, right? 2x4. Let's check out a 2x4 from this set. You in the back. Look at that. There it is. 1x2? Yeah, they got those too. Look at my finger. Yeah. Craziness. And you got your normal like L shape here too. They're just all teeny tiny. The little claw one, yeah, they got one of those. A 1x1, got one of those. Now they actually have a taller one, like a double height. That's the actual height of a normal Lego block. So imagine putting these together. It takes eight of these to make one of these. 1/8 the size is what we're talking about. And look at these fingers, huh? They are not pencil thin. They are big, meaty sausages trying to put these things together. Holy moly. But thankfully, we get a ton of extras because they know, the people who make this, they know they have tiny, tiny pieces. So look at this. They give you, these are all extras. Extras, wait, I've got more. Come here. Come on out, boys. These are all extras that they give you. You look, it's complete. But they give you all these extras because they know, man, you drop one of these, they could slide through a crack between the baseboard and your tile. And I do have tile floors, so these things would just bounce to LA or Tokyo. Craziness, huh? Yeah. Insane how small this thing was. The speed build wasn't as hard to film. I hope it comes out all right. You can go check it out. It should be up. The speed build. Hopefully you can see everything with how small. Imagine trying to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, It's crazy. So let's check out the stickers. You see, this thing does have a lot of stickers. There's one there. There's a very long one going up here. There's a rescue and stuff. You can see this one's a little off. I'll explain that in a moment. But they do give you extras of the stickers too. A couple extra fire logos, the stripes, these things, the actual word rescue. And these are like the gunpla, what do they call them? Like the water stickers, or like what I think of those water tattoos, those temporary tattoos that you just put water on and slap them on. Except this, you don't need water. You just peel them off, they're transparent, and you just lay them across and press a couple times and you pull off the plastic and the sticker's still there. Which I did not know, so that explains why this one is a bit off. Because I started to place it and saw, okay, oops. I tried to pull it off and part of it remained on the piece. I was like, uh-oh. So thankfully, they had a spare sticker. And so I had to take the spare and then line it up. I couldn't adjust and get it to be centered. So we just have an off-centered sticker for that one. So yeah, tiny stuff. But you see, there's so much detail. Like I said, we've got the hose, the nozzle, even a tiny little water piece. We've got these little transparent pieces for the windshield and windows, the grill on the front. We've got a wrench. These look like little doors that lift up, you know, to grab other tools you need. We've got a ladder on the back and lights. Oh yeah, this is really crazy. I'm surprised by how much detail they crammed into not only 180 pieces, but how small. Even look, these little lines up here are stickers. Teeny tiny little things. The rescue is a sticker. Insane. Now let me see here. I may have to switch camera angles for the instructions. Give me a moment. All right, here are the instructions. You've got your piece list up here. Now, it's been so many years since I've done one of these LOZ sets. And thankfully, you know, some of them can be such a pain in the butt with the instructions and figuring things out. Thankfully, this one's set is pretty simple, but let me just show you the first step. You see what it does. It shows you the base pieces, and then it gives you like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reference points of where this piece goes, and then you have to lay them all out like this, bring them all down, line them up. So which can be, it just takes more time because you have to look, okay, so how many little pegs is this one? Oh, this piece is actually smaller than this piece, but they're all just so small and crammed in there. And you just keep going. This step as well, all the red, you're just like, okay, it highlights the yellow ones, but those aren't the only new pieces. It's only highlighting these 8, but all the red is still new. So you really gotta pay attention with micro blocks and the micro instructions. Thankfully though, the rest of the set, it's pretty much just building up the sides of the truck. And also, if you watched, what set was it that I did? Was it the frog? The frog set I did? Where the previous steps, it turned the previous step into just white. No, it was the computer. It turned them white, which of course then if the next step has white pieces, uh-oh. So thankfully they turned these, the previous step turns into this light blue or light lavender color. So that's nice. The sticker icons are decently sized. You can see them pretty well. So yeah, this set was not too bad to follow with the micro instructions for the micro set. But yeah, this thing came out looking great. And I'm really happy with that. And it really wasn't too frustrating to build. Like I said, just building up the sides, you know, normal kind of front assembly for the grill and stuff. It's just a base plate that you just plug things on. And like I said, they've got the bars to hold onto the side, these little guns, these the sirens up at the top. The only trouble spot, as you can see, this tiny water piece for the hose wants to keep popping off. You nudge that just in the wrong way and it pops right off there. But to me, it looks so detailed for how small it is. It's incredible. 180 pieces. Now, I'm probably not going to buy another one of these. This was you know, you build these things because they're fun. And this wasn't necessarily the most fun to build, especially those darn stickers. That was a little annoying. But it looks great. I actually really like this, and I might get more, see what other sets they have in this series, and because they are just very good looking at the end. So there you have it. Here's the bag it came in, just a little bag. Micro block. Fire truck, it should have said fire on the front, but it just says rescue. Oh well, it looks awesome. Again, a very cheap little set too, so why not give it a try? Tell me what you think down in the comments. Like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Always more speed builds and reviews coming up later, so please check them out, and I will see you later.